Bailey Oberizzi, as you like to call him.
Absolutely. He paints the top of the zone red like Jake Odorizzi used to, and you've forgotten already that Jake Odorizzi was an extreme high four-seamer guy, because that's just what
Commonly
Bailey Ober does.
called
He's the one that claims it now with elite extension. Remember
scored
Logan
there
Gilbert
and
7.5, this
unable
is
to hold back
7.3. I
is
mean, this is
Brian
pretty much
Sur.
Mhm.
right there, which then made his cutter and slider much better this year. He really improved those pitches. It used to be just a slider at 81 miles per hour, about 20% of the time in 2023, but now he separated them out, has a harder cutter at 86 and higher
Mhm.
that he throws 20% of the time and has that still a slower breaker rate around 80. But the mix of those two of them have been so good, and he's really good at locating them down in glove size, especially that
And that
cutter,
is on the
which I think
outer
really
line,
helped out a
France.
lot
A little
this year. And also,
frustrated.
just a
Oh,
20%
now we're
ICR on
getting,
that lower
this is turning
velocity
into
slider is
taking shots now.
absolutely
I
nuts.
see.
He has a low 58%
Now
strike
start.
rate, but still just little damage happened. A 125 BABIP when it was put into play is bonkers. So you have this extra pitch now for Ober because the changeup is an elite PLV pitch. It is a 589 PLV. This is one of the highest PLV pitches you'll see. That is, of course, our pitch modeling that we have akin to Pitching Plus from Enosaurus. And I see a guy who improved last year. You're going to see the 3.43 ERA in 2023 and a 3.98. And you said, Nick, you just told me he improved. And I say, he did. But what happened was that when he had a bad day, normally you see about 4 or 5 earned runs. For Ober, it was a lot worse. It was 9 earned
Yes.
runs or 8 earned runs or so for about 3 starts, is really what happened. The first game of the year, which was so bad, and he adjusted, and you can just kind of axe that one away. He had another 9 earned run game against Atlanta. And then he had a 6 earned run game against the Royals. And those are really the big clunkers of the year. And that really pulled it down. But the fact that he had 2 starts of 17 earned runs, well, there you go. There's the difference. And
Mhm.
usually it isn't that bad. And, and I know that he now has this label, Bailey Ober, of this, oh, well, he's just going to have those disasters and that's it. That's a sample size of 2, guys. All
Right.
right. Pitchers have had bad games. I think Imanaga had like a 10 earned run game. Like it just happens sometimes, and that's that. It is not something that you are now destined to repeat. So I think he's getting too much of a knock for this and for forgetting that it's a one whip with a 27% K rate in 180 innings. Bailey
Hard.
Ober did
How
things that
much
made him
was he
so
looking
much
forward to
better.
this one tonight
And I
as
don't
he
see
buckles
why we shouldn't
Garcia?
be treating him like that kind of guy, not the 4 ERA. Come on, we
Stay in
know
that
all
strike
of the
zone and
things
hit
that make us ignore ERA.
non-strikes.
ERA is not
It's a
the
good
sticky
changeup
stat to
like that.
focus
Yep.
on, guys. Everything else is way better than just saying ERA year to year. So please, I implore you, look at the hit per nine that he dropped over a single hit. Went from an 8 hit per nine to a 7 hit per nine. He's so much harder to hit. Bailey Ober's great. And what do you know? Maybe he'll get more velocity from like 91, and all of a sudden that extension will be used at 92 and pinpoint the top of the zone with that changeup and with that cutter and slider. I think he's really good. I think he's going to be another workhorse, I guess, with strikeout potential, great ratios. I want him everywhere.
Yes. The great Kyle Bland um, helped me. He put together for my presentation for First Pitch Arizona a list of pitch mix usage that had changed the most this year. Bailey Ober, the biggest change in cutter usage of any starting pitcher in baseball, up 19.5% because obviously
From
is the pitch
zero.
he added in from zero. But we have talked at length about really that like pitch mix changes like that don't click immediately. And so everything you're saying about how that pitch kind of like adds to Bailey Ober's
Dominating as a
potential
defender
success, even though the
or
ERA
dominating
success
on the
didn't show
bases.
up,
Well, you're
you're
trying to
looking
hit.
at
It's
like
very difficult
it's
to
not
recognize
like he
pitches.
added the pitch
Advantage to
and
the
then
pitcher, right?
immediately was this
Meanwhile,
brand new
Bailey
pitcher.
Ober
Like it
leads.
takes a little time for that reshaped arsenal to be able to
Another
be
full head
thrown
of
with
Southern
confidence
noise.
and
I don't
feel and
think.
all of that kind of stuff. And so when you're seeing the individual elements that present a new level and the new level doesn't immediately show up, there's a good indication that that new level could come next year.